Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Recently, my family decided to go out and go through a walk through the woods with the dog. So I decided this is a perfect opportunity to set up my camera and demonstrate what it takes to do pet photography of your own pets out hiking around when you're the owner. You're going to have to pick a wide angle lens. You're going to have to put your camera into sports mode. And so a wide angle lens is going to allow you to catch a lot of things in the frame, even when you're up close. And I chose a 24mm f2.8 lens. And that lens has a fairly shallow depth of field. So when you take a picture, you get your foreground is blurry, your subject is hopefully in focus, and then your background's a little bit blurry. And those photos do look really aesthetically pleasing. The best thing to do is put your camera into sports mode. Just aim it in their general direction and keep your shutter speed high and try to get a lot of photos, and hopefully you'll get one photo. If your family's willing to help you, you're probably going to have to invest more into bribing your family to help you than you are with bringing dog treats to get your dogs to behave. If you're out hiking somewhere, dog treats aren't going to help you because your dogs are going to be interested in going around and sniffing at pretty much everything they can, because that's what dogs do. They like to go and adventure and sniff and see what they can find. I filmed that process as best I could candidly to demonstrate what it is like to take pictures of your own pet. So hopefully you'll enjoy this, and then if you want to stick around, you can see what it's like to actually edit one of the photos. Alright, enjoy. So in the Clemson Experimental Forest, they've been doing some timber harvesting, and I found this perfect log, and I thought it's the perfect space to get the dogs to jump over it, and I'll get a picture of them flying through the air. But Ray, she was lazy. She just kept walking around this tree. Have a watch.
Bruno, come. Tree for the boy. Come on, tree. Come.
The idea is try to get him to jump.
Ray, I don't think Ray's gonna do it.
Ray! Right here, my wife starts fussing at me from behind the scenes.
The tree's too big. I think that's what happens.
Come here.
Come here, tree. Come.
She goes around the tree.
Talking, the tree's too big. The tree's too thick.
Okay. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So this would be the first batch of photos that I took, and we'll go through all of these and you'll pretty much see that I got nothing. From this point of view, I was maybe a little bit too far away. You see Bruno's our black dog, he's jumping over the log. Ray is the brown dog, she's running around the log. And so the next set of photos I decided to get closer, maybe to capture some details, to get something interesting, and you'll see I got too close. So there's Bruno once again, jumping over the log. Here he comes again. I mean maybe this would make a good photo. I don't know, but it just looks too awkward. And that one, I clipped his ears and his tail. That one kind of looks okay, but obviously he's not really jumping. He's just kind of hopping over the log. Maybe that photo right there looks fun, but I'm not really happy with any of these. And then this one right here, this was probably my favorite of the batch. And I can zoom in on Bruno right there. Maybe crop that out and make an interesting image of it, but I don't know, there's just that photo right there is just not really doing it for me. It's just another bad photo. And this one, just none of these really came out. And then here's my one photo of Ray on top of the tree trunk. And I really should have thought about my background here. I thought I would get some background separation, but it just looks like a total mess. So none of these photos came out. So at this point, we decided to head down the trail and make our way a little bit closer to the lake. And there's a spot in the experimental forest where it kind of opens up into a nice beach. And I'm thinking, you know, what spot could be more perfect than having a nice beachy area? And it turned out nobody was there, so I thought, okay, here's my chance to get a ton of awesome photos. This is the spot right here. It's gonna be perfect. Well, even though this spot was picture perfect and the clouds were in the sky were great, the sun was starting to set, and there were a lot of colors in the background, the dogs were pretty much tired. They were just basically walking around following me, or if I was trying to give them some instructions to do something, they weren't really paying attention. You know, Ray would get in the water and swim a little bit, and right there I got a really good photo. That would be my only good photo of the day. And other than that, I got nothing. I took over 100 pictures, and that one moment just a little while ago was my one photo. Alright, so here we are in Adobe Camera Raw, and this is what the one photo I got looked like in camera. So I'm gonna do some basic editing on this to kind of show you what you can do with some of the software when you take a raw photo with a camera. So let's go 4 to 5 and level the horizon a little bit. Kind of punch in a little bit. Let's about right there. Okay, so now you can see that this is a backlit photo and Ray's face is pretty much dark, so let's go in and start doing some basic adjustments to pull that out. The first thing I'm going to do is pull my contrast way down. That's going to do a lot of help. Then I'm going to push my shadows way up, only to about there. Then let's get a gradient filter. I'm going to put this right on Ray's face, and we're going to bump up some details on her face, bump up the exposure a little bit there, the shadows, and what we'll do is improve the clarity just a little bit, and that kind of looks good. Now kind of the part of her paws looks kind of wet and dark, so let's kind of bring this area down here up just a little bit as well in the shadows. Alright, and let's look at the color temperature. Okay, what we want to do is we want to, let's see if we can go find the sunshine. Looks like the sunshine was up there in the sky, right about in here. Let's open it up a little bit more and let's include that in there. There we go. Alright, now we got the sunshine up here in the corner, and what we're going to do is we're going to emphasize this a little bit by changing some color temperatures. Kind of making that sun glow a little bit, and do some negative dehaze. Increase the saturation. A little bit of that. Alright, and we want to make these colors pop here on the water as well. So let's come up with a filter right about here, and what we're going to do is crank up the saturation a little bit right there. Add some clarity. Do that, and then bring up the exposure. Again, that looks good. And then what we want to do is create some nice contrast over here with this blue area, and let's emphasize the blue a little bit. I'm going to change the color temperature over here to a lot more blue. So So you got this kind of orange to teal look kind of going on in the background, and let's darken the exposure a little bit over there, dehaze it to emphasize the colors, get a little bit more clarity. Yeah, it's looking nice. And then what we want to do is kind of create a fake vignette down here in these corners by dropping the exposure a little bit. Here. I'm going to drop that exposure and change the color temperature a little bit. Okay, let's come back over here to our other one that we just created and make that one a little bit like the sun's over there. Alright, so now we're back here at our basic adjustments. I'm going to bring the exposure up kind of as much as I can. I'm going to drop the blacks and see if that does anything. No, we don't really want to do that. What I want to do now is kind of play with the vibrance and the saturation. Okay, I'm going to put it up to there, but one thing we want to be careful about is now Ray's a little bit oversaturated. So if we choose this, pull down the saturation a little bit there, and pull down the saturation in her face, and kind of expand that out to here. And that, I think, is a really good photo. So if we go back to before, that's what I got out of camera, and after some editing to make it look good and bring back all the details in Ray's face, that's what we got. And I think we got a really good photo that's going to be a keeper. So that seems like a lot of work just to get one photo of your pet, but the reason I do it is because challenging photography it's a lot of fun, and taking pictures of your own pets can be very rewarding when you get a good picture. And this picture that I took of Ray, I'm probably going to print it out, make a nice print, and put it up somewhere in the house for the family to enjoy. And that makes it all worth it. Thanks. See you next time.